All right, welcome to the Poundcast. Brent, thank you for joining me once again.
Hey, you know what? Can I extend that welcome to you as well, Doug? Thank you
Absolutely.
for joining yourself.
Oh, well, you're welcome for the welcome.
Oh, well, thank you for that.
Um,
Welcoming the welcome.
Today we have a
Um,
great Poundcast with Cer Spence. He is you'll find out a lot about him. I collaborate with him on many things.
you almost said I
Uh,
collab with him. I
I
collab with him often, and
I collab with him.
I collab.
I club with him. He started out. I met him at Two Wet Crew back in the day. We talk about that. We have a musical project called The 3-Year-Olds, and we have a new song that will be released sooner or later called March of the Ding Dings, and we're going to hear that.
And he's also now a full-time YouTuber now.
We're going to hear a little bit. Yeah, we're going to hear a little bit of that song. We're going to hear about Spencer's how he got hacked. That was very interesting. And now
Right, very
now
interesting.
he was able to quit his job, and now he's a full-time YouTuber. So that's really cool. We're going to learn all about that. And a couple other
But
things I would like
but
to.
first,
But first, we're
this episode is in part brought to you by Louisville Vegan Foods, Louisville Vegan Foods and Louisville Vegan Jerky.
that's right. If you go to louisvilleveganfoods.com, load up your cart. Now's a good time to buy stuff from Louisville Vegan Foods. Not only can you support us by shopping there, but you can get some great Christmas presents. Now's the time to start stocking up on little stocking stuffers, cute little
Love it.
presents you can give to your friends and your loved ones. And if you use the code word Poundcast at LouisvilleVeganFoods.com,
You
you will
get
get 20%
20.
off. That's
It
huge.
doesn't make sense. I just did two fingers and then like a
If you
zero,
do
but
the
that doesn't
two,
really make
I'll get
sense
the
because
zero right here. You see that?
you have to make a two with your fingers to make this work. You know what I mean?
No,
Or
you
what?
do two. I got the zero. Oh, I see what you're saying.
That doesn't really
It
work.
doesn't
That
really
looks like
work.
it looks like we're doing 110 or something like that. Or
But
anyway,
here's another thing. You can go to LouisvilleVeganFoods.com and sign up for their small batch newsletter. No purchase necessary. And you could get eligible to win a Nintendo Switch
wow.
just by signing up for their newsletter. I'm signed up because I want that Switch. I want my opportunity. I want that chance to win.
You want to
Yeah.
switch, huh?
Yesterday I shot a promo for the small batch newsletter, so keep your eyes out for that. That'll be out somewhere soon. It might even be on LouisvilleVeganFoods.com.
Louisville Vegan Jerky is handbagged in the United States. It has a 9-month shelf life, and tons of flavors. Check them out and
It's
stuff
a
yourself.
no-brainer. Support the Poundcast. Check them out.
Don't just stuff
LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. Use the code word Poundcast. And if you want to support the Poundcast,
20% off.
20%. How dare I? How dare I make that mistake? But if you also want to support the Poundcast in another special way, you could go to patreon.com/poundcast. And if you subscribe to that Patreon, you will have access to bonus episodes of the Poundcast, extended episodes, after dark episodes. We did one today with Cer Spence, and we were talking about our dream girls from our
Dream girls.
preteen, our teenage days,
Not just teenage, but also younger than that too.
preteen, teen. I don't see numbers.
Now check this out.
Check what out?
Well, as a little fun little thing, the Poundcast is going to have a holiday party on Zoom.
That's right. But guess what, Brent? It's going to be for Patreon subscribers only. So patrons, we're going to have a Zoom party. You're all invited, and we're all going to have a big chat on December 10th at,
Well, time to be determined, I guess.
yeah,
right?
probably in the evening, probably 6 p.m. Pacific-ish. That'll be to be determined. December 10th, Zoom party. So if you want to,
Yep.
and we're gonna try to talk to everybody. So
Yeah, we're gonna record it also. It's gonna become an episode as well. But
but that'll be a Patreon exclusive. So
yeah.
just sign up. Bottom line, sign up for our Patreon if you want to get bonus content and join our Poundcast holiday party 2020, December 10th. So sign up for the Patreon before then, and we'll see you at the party.
We'll see you at the party, Richter.
What else, Brent?
Anyway, that's about it. I mean, you can check out the video on YouTube if you want to see video versions of the episodes. YouTube,
Yeah, we make some funny faces. You might want to check out the YouTube channel if you want to see the funny faces.
YouTube.com/thepoundcast. And there's an Instagram page as well with some funny clips that Nathan Pittman makes for us. That's Instagram.com/thepoundcast. And
we're on Twitter
now too, which is just Poundcast, I believe. Right?
Follow us on all those social medias for updates and fun tidbits.
So that's about it, right?
That's about it for me.
Is it maybe it's the Poundcast or Poundcast? I don't even know.
You looking it up right now? You Googling?
Trying to, yeah. I think it's the Poundcast on Twitter, actually. It's confusing, sometimes Poundcast is taken, so we have to do the Poundcast, but it makes it confusing because some stuff is just Poundcast. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. Look for both.
It's twitter.com/thepoundcast.
Poundcast.
And
the only thing that's just Poundcast.
I didn't even see that they updated it with this hilarious photo of me, you, and Max. Are you looking at that?
Wait, hold on. Which
Max
one?
Sandra?
Which one?
It's like we look like chefs, but
no. Oh yeah, no, I've been seeing that. Jack Birch, who does their YouTube videos, he has been making these thumbnails with that are fun. So check those out on YouTube.
Oh boy, that's good. All right, should we get right into it with Cer Spence?
Please do.
All right, we're gonna listen to a little bit of a song I made with him, a forthcoming release. We're still tweaking it, and we're gonna be remixing it. Anyway, here's a little bit of March of the Ding Dings.
March, 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 March.
Welcome to the Poundcast, Cer Spence.
Hello.
Cer Spence. Cer Spence. Sir.
At ease, boys. At ease.
Cer Spence, you've been on the show before.
Yeah.
Do they know?
IRL.
Do our listeners? Maybe we could catch your listeners up on your humble beginnings as the Two Wet Crew intern.
Yeah.
Remember
absolutely.
that?
Yeah, let's start there.
Was
So
that you? Was that you and Chad who were the interns?
Yeah, that was me and Chad who kind of tapped you on the shoulder all those years ago at the Satellite in, I want to say 2014. And I was, well, for the last 10 years, really, I focused on music production. And I was trying to help you out and just offer anything I could give you, like, audio engineering wise. I think I just asked if you needed help. And then it ended up, creating a friendship and sort of a working relationship. And we've been together now. We've been together now as friends for 6 years. Yeah.
You've been partners now for
at
least 3 of those years.
I mean, those.
Well, we didn't really want to come out with that yet.
I'm talking about music partners.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
We'll get to that, but I mean, we'll play a little bit of the March of the Ding Dings at the beginning of this show.
Okay,
so
sick.
People would have already heard a clip of that.
Oh, sick.
And that
like time
is
traveling.
Cer Spence and I do a band. This is our band called the 3-Year-Olds. We have a couple releases out, but we got this new one, March of the Ding Dings, that we've been perfecting for months and months, maybe almost a year at this point. I don't
Yeah, and
know, but
it's got some lore to it. It's got a whole story behind it. And if there's any hungry animators out there that want to get at us, I mean, I don't know what we can really facilitate, but like there's a whole story behind this. So if anyone wanted to nerd out and hear it, or if you guys want to talk about it now.
well, I don't know if we want to like spitball ideas about that yet, but
Let's talk about.
we talk about a little bit. So here's an
Oh.
idea I had for the video for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Since it's maybe time consuming to do a whole 4-minute, 5-minute animation, what if like we got different animators to do like 2 measures each?
Oh,
Every 2 measures, it's like a different video. It just keeps changing, different animations.
yeah, that would be amazing.
Because we did that one video, coconut sandwiches, where we had people sending themselves dancing to Another One Bites the Dust, which is the same BPM.
Oh, yeah, that worked
Yeah.
out. Yeah, we stitched together
That
people
was
dancing
cool.
to create a whole music video. That was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so we could outsource this one in a way too, where we have different people have 2 measures or however long, 4 measures, and they could do whatever, but maybe stick with the story or the lore. But anyway, back to the roots. I remember getting a good vibe from Spencer. I don't know. I think it was just you were the intern, which I think you just showed up early and helped us like plug stuff in or something. But I just remember like those early 2 at Crew shows were the best because they would we would do a dance party afterwards.
Yeah.
And at the dance party, it was like me and you and Chad
Yeah.
and like 3 other people, but we would just like rock out, like just going nuts.
Yeah. We
Like,
opened
we had the place to
for sure.
ourselves, and we were just like doing stupid dances. That was fun.
Yeah, we moved like every single table at the satellite, which was many.
That's right.
And
Cleared
we
it
would
out.
we created like not a circle pit, but a big like stomp the yard-esque dance circle, and we tore it down. It was a lot of fun, and it created another leg of the too wet culture.
So Spencer, you're
Became
at the
free
point.
wet.
Yeah, you're at the point now. You're at the point now where you were able to quit your day job and become a full-time YouTuber.
Yeah, I'm a full-timer YouTuber.
Now,
like,
where did you
pretty much-
work before we get to that? What kind of jobs did you have? I mean, I know, but just for the listeners' sake.
Well, before I was in like Jake Paul's lane, which I am now, I was working at restaurants forever. I was also doing music stuff, some audio like gigs and stuff. But I never like was able to get that off the ground and make it like full time. It's like, it's really tough doing that. It's really saturated, but
What kind of music gigs did you have?
so I would like do mashups for different like companies that were asking for it, which like if you can get mashup gigs, like, or just production companies that want to hear what 2 songs sound like together. I don't know how you get these, but
That's so
sometimes I would
easy.
get these emails. It's incredibly easy, and they pay you a lot of money. So look into that, guys, if you're curious. I don't really have any like connections to it anymore. This was a few years ago, but I did a few of those and made some good money.
Brent has a question.
I did a mashup recently because I thought there was these 2 songs that sounded really similar, and I put them together. And you know what? I'll put that out as a bonus for the Patreon. But it was Happy House by
Shen?
Susie and the Banshees,
Oh,
right? And the Wheel of Fortune theme song. They sound
Wait.
really similar.
really?
As it goes, Happy House goes dun 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 dun, and then Wheel of Fortune goes dun 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 dun. Anyway, I put them together, and you'll hear it. I'll release it as a bonus Patreon thing.
Are they in the same
Nice.
key?
Probably not, but
Brent, did you do it yourself?
yeah,
Are
I
the-
just did it myself. I did it for fun.
Like,
Are they the
they the
layers
same-
matched,
yeah,
or,
are they the
or is
same
it like they
BPM?
follow each other?
No, I mean, I only did the beginning just to give it a little. I mean, I could just try to. No, I don't. I think it'd be hard to play it right now. But I mean, I wouldn't be able to share my audio. But It matches up okay. It doesn't match up perfectly, but you can hear that it's there. It's just a little taste. I'm just gonna release it as a taste.
Yeah. A little taste.
Like I'm not gonna. It's not the whole song, you know.
You should drop an EP of just tastes. Just Brent Weinbach.
I also had this
little taste.
Yeah. No, that's
A
cool.
mixtape.
Like, it's a sampler.
Mixed taste.
It's a sampler.
Yeah. Sampler platter. Yeah.
All right. Well, back.
One last little mashup thing is I had this dream, okay, about that Paula Abdul's song "Forever Your Girl." That I had a dream that it was mixed with this music from a video game called Strider for the Genesis in the arcade, and I put that together, and that kind of worked.
Nice.
Anyway,
drop it on the mix taste.
I might put that on the sampler platter too.
Put on the mix taste.
Yeah.
So real quick, Brent, when you had that dream, was it a nap or was it like in like a nighttime dream?
It was a nighttime dream.
Because I never.
That's a good name for a mixtape too. Nighttime dreams.
Nighttime dreams.
Well, it was probably a daytime dream, but
because like whenever I remember a dream, it's always when I take a nap and then I'm like jolted out of like a REM sleep, like a quick REM sleep. I think when I sleep during the night, I probably dream, and then my brain cycles down into waking up, and then all those dreams are in the rear view mirror. They're gone.
Yeah. I tend to remember a lot of my nighttime dreams.
Same.
I wonder if that's.
I remember like all of my dreams.
You're not getting the right sleep or something.
Well, no. I'm getting the right sleep. I think it feels full. I always dream. I love dreaming. It's fun.
It is.
It's a
Have
whole
you ever
world.
lucid dreamed? Lucid dreamt?
No. But I have.
That's a fun time.
Well, I have been conscious sort of dreaming. I mean, there was one time when my dream was really boring, and I just thought, man, this dream is so boring, and it made me wake up.
Spencer, when you lucid dream, do you smash or do you fly? What do you go to?
Both. Not simultaneously. My brain capacity hasn't been able to handle that. That would be quite the achievement. But the first time I ever lucid dreamt, actually, I didn't go straight to smash. And there's also lots of dangers when you try to smash in your dreams. You got to be careful because, you'll like be like, okay, I'm going to smash Paula Abdul, for instance, during this nighttime dream. And then you're sitting there like, okay, I have to be careful though, because what if Paula Abdul turns into someone else? And then boom, she turns into like your gym teacher, or God forbid, a family member. And then you just wake up because you just switch states so fast. You go from excited, to aroused maybe, and then just disturbed. And then you wake up. So you have to really go about it Zen-like. And the best part about lucid dreaming isn't even the smashing. It's really just like the like psychedelia of it, and like walking through a neighborhood and asking yourself like what's going to come up next. Like that's the weird, interesting part, honestly. The smashing is for, the novice and amateur lucid dreamers,
but what if you were flying and then that turned into your gym teacher? Yikes.
One time I remember lucid dreaming. I think I was able to do it one time, I remember. And I was like, oh man, okay, I'm dreaming here. I'm going to fly, right? That's what you do. I'm thinking to myself in this dream, like, I got to fly. So I started flying, but I was like, I was like going like up and back. And I I wasn't going through 3D landscapes like a video game. It was more of like, I couldn't control the rudder.
Right. Like, so like the thing about it is like, it's like basically an immediate self-fulfilling prophecy, the way like the virtual, or not virtual, but the way that the lucid dream universe works, in that whenever you think something might happen or you take a mental precaution of it, it's already happening. So it's just an immediate like manifestation of whatever you're thinking. So if you're thinking like, all right, I want to fly. Oh wait, I'm kind of moving back. Then you're already like doing a headstand at that point, because you're already like, it's just immediately following whatever, your brain is worried about happening, or is like just like anticipating whatever you anticipate. It's already happened. Because you also kind of realize things after they happen in dreams. Weirdly enough, like the way the brain works when it's streaming.
So you're like you're smashing Paula Abdul,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're like, I'm sure glad this isn't my gym teacher, and then it's gonna be your gym teacher.
Yeah, and then it's already been your gym teacher from the beginning of that like sentence. It's really rough. So I think that's just a sign you just can't, pervert, the lucid universe. You got to show it respect like you would, you got to show the lucid dream world the same respect that Joe Rogan shows DMT. You have to go in there like not, necessarily like it's recreation. It's got to be, spiritual
You
experience.
got to respect that. Yeah.
There's ways to do it, or increase your chances and increase not just your endurance, but size as well, by taking
your-
extends.
Wait, are you
Of the
wait, what
smashing, or what do you the wiener?
Of lucid dreaming. I was kidding about the second part, but okay, no, lucid dreaming, you can, there's ways of, my sister's really into it and she's trying to do it. She did lucid dream recently, but you have to set your alarm and wake yourself up at a certain time, so that I think you have to wake up 5 hours into the sleep and then wake up for like 10 minutes and then go back to sleep or something like that. There's these ways you can kind of mess with the schedules to make it so that you can have better odds at lucid dreaming.
Yeah, I think those things like do increase the odds, but what works the best is if you kind of like let it become a habit of yours to just do reality checks, as it were. So say right now we're talking about dreaming, right? Literally ask yourself right now, am I dreaming? And kind of just like investigate a little bit, like any moment you think about it. Or you can set a cue, like, okay, every time I walk into a room or open a door, I'm going to ask myself if I'm dreaming.
Right.
If
No,
you
that's
just
part
carry
of it.
that. Yeah. If you just carry that habit for like 2-3 days, you'll be lucid dreaming in no time.
Right. Because
I
then
do.
when you do that in a dream and it's not right, then you know you're dreaming. So I think you're supposed to look at a clock in a dream, and the clock will not be right, and that will tell you that you're dreaming or something like that.
Or a mirror. I looked at a mirror one time when I was dreaming, and I was like a 12-year-old Mexican boy who was kind of chubby. And I was like, I don't usually look like this. I'm pretty sure I'm dreaming. But that's the funny part, is you're not immediately suspicious. You'll see something like that not to be true, and you won't really be sure still, which is strange. Like one time I tried to fly in a dream. I was like, am I dreaming? Let's see. I'll try to fly. And I'm like, I could barely fly. I'm not dreaming. I was flying a little bit, but that wasn't enough. You know what I mean? So like, you're not fully aware or like fully critical of reality. So it's like kind of tricky like that.
You know what I do?
Really...
I do dream lucidity. Where like right now, I'm having sex with Paula Abdul while I'm talking about
Hey, what's that?
Yeah.
Daydream?
What if people did that?
Right?
What if people flipped it, and it was like the most annoying guy ever? He's always just like having some sex dream in front of you, and you're like, dude, you're not dreaming. He's like, I'm not awake, and or whatever. He like tries to, while he's awake.
He flips the script.
No, I like that. A lucid daydream. That's funny.
That's a sketch idea.
Do you guys do lucid daydream? Yeah, that is a sketch, isn't it? Oh man, one time I was lucid daydreaming that it's actually there's ways you can increase your odds of lucid daydreaming.
Your size.
You just take extends.
Yeah.
But
That's actually literally what I thought of when you were talking about that. Those commercials were so funny.
that was the joke I was making, definitely. I was trying to make it sound like extends, but
And you're not embarrassed to say that? Oh no, not at all.
So Spencer, when you worked at restaurants and stuff, what was like the weirdest thing that happened? Or do you have any weird stories from that?
Yeah, lots of weird things. I don't even know where to begin.
that's where
I did the probably the weirdest stories were when I worked at this diner in Los Feliz, you might be familiar with, called Fred 62.
That's where I met you.
Yeah, that's where we first met. Actually, I waited on you.
24 hours.
I waited on a lot of people, some celebrities, and just some all around interesting people. Because it's a diner. There's something about diners that it's almost like, I don't know, like daytime bar crowd adjacent, where you just get like lots of, you get every type of person, right? So I would get like, for some reason also with the diner, I don't know, because it has a bar vibe, I guess it did sell beer and wine. We would get a lot of like homeless people. So I would have to kick out homeless people like at like 4:30 in the morning, and I would be the only employee in the front. And I would also have homeless people try to spit at my tables. And I learned, like, this is when I first moved to LA. I
Like
learned
spit
that,
line, like spit bars, or
yeah, bars, like they'd be challenging them to like rap battles so that they could get some tips. No, but basically I learned like about how the police really won't do anything in so many situations in LA, including if there's like people coming up to like the restaurant and like literally abusing like your staff, which I thought was so crazy. And like it was like just a culture shock to me, because I'm from like a suburban town where like the cops will do anything. Like they have nothing to do. Like they'll get a cat out of a tree for you type cops. So
they'll
when I came
they'll
here,
they'll tie you up, they'll spank you. You know, they'll do
yeah.
feather stuff.
Yeah. If you call the right cops,
Dude, the
I'm getting
cops
in
in
the
my
weeds, but
hometown
like,
will do anything for you, man. You just
mhm.
name it, you know? I mean, you want to get tied up, dude, or you want to tie them up, man, do some feather stuff, they'll do anything.
Yeah. So yeah, I was having these lucid dreams about these cops, and no, but I would get really weird at that place. Really strange people who would like I got more dine-in dashers at that place than anywhere else. Um, I can't think of any specific story with anyone. I had a guy once that I was serving the table, and he started arguing with his girlfriend, and the table was covered in drinks, and he took his arm and he just swiped across the whole table and knocked everything off. And then the guy who was my manager at the time, shouts out Zach, chased this guy down the street and like tackled him and put him in a headlock. And then like he almost got arrested for that. So that was insane. Like I feel like every crazy story I have was at this one place. Everywhere else was pretty chill. Honestly, the restaurant life is really stressful, but it's a good way to make money fast. Like, I mean, I guess waiting tables in particular, but it does take a toll on you. I did it for many years, and
I met you again at a different restaurant that you worked at.
yeah, I waited on Brent many times at more than one restaurant. Yeah, funny enough. Yeah, I maybe I'll think of some stories that I can tell you guys as patrons if we like take a quick break after this before the after dark, and I'll share the juicy stuff with them, because I know I have a couple of really weird things that have happened to me waiting tables that I want to get out. Yeah.
And okay, well, let's also talk about you worked. Is it a secret that who you worked with musically? Well, you worked with Old Man Saxon.
Yeah.
And he was he was on
secret.
that show. He's on the Netflix show. What's that? Right? What's that called?
Rhythm and Flow.
Rhythm and Flow. It's like a reality show for rappers.
It's basically like American Idol, but for rap. Yeah. And they had like T.I., Cardi B, Snoop Dogg, Chance the Rapper. They were all judges.
And so you produce some stuff that's like legit, like, and you also
I did.
You work with
I did some beats for him, and you know, he's had a pretty successful career, and he really helped me out. I like to think I helped him out too. You know, we just had a really good, you know, we had a partnership too.
How did that
Doug
work
doesn't
out?
like when I talk about that in front of him, but we also had a partnership, and it worked out really well. Yeah.
How did you hook up with him though?
Are you sure you want me to talk about me hooking up with him? No, we actually, okay, you know what's funny? One of the weird stories at Fred 62 is with him. So, and this is how I hooked up with him, right? So I was at work one day, and I should preface it with, okay, a few days before I was in an Uber. The Uber driver showed me his friend's music. I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. This is pretty sweet, man. And then he like took down my SoundCloud. So fast forward a couple days later, I'm working at Fred 62. Thought nothing of that. And then the host that I'm working with, my coworker, says, hey, so there's this guy that keeps coming around whenever you're not working for some reason. He said he's looking for someone called Cer Spence. Is that you? And I'm like, oh yeah. If you see him again, just tell him I don't work here. Cause I had no idea who it was. And he made it sound like the guy was weird. And I was like, okay, the host, it's like, sounds like he's nervous about this guy. Just, tell him I don't really, tell him like in the nicest way, like I don't work here often or something like that. But I come back, he's like, oh, the guy came back again. I come back to another shift, and then I'm like doing my tips or like doing my report at the bar. And then Saxon, who I didn't know at the time, walks up and he goes, hi, Spencer. And I'm like, hi, man, how's it going? And like, in context, it sounds really weird. And at the time it was, but like, once I got to know Saxon, like that's just like his sense of humor. And like, I totally love him to death. But at the time I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And he just introduces himself, like says he wants to work with me. And I'm like, okay, sweet. And then we just work on like one song together at this really cool studio. I think it was like Dallas Austin studio where like some Michael Jackson stuff was done in the past, and like that blew me away. That was a lot of fun. This was like, mind you, like I had only lived in LA for a month, so this was like all really fun and exciting for someone just coming to Hollywood, right? So a few months go by and we don't really talk for a bit, but I get a new job, and which is the job that I also served Brent at down the street. And I show up and Saxon's like in the kitchen like cooking pasta, and I'm like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, we work together now. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I saw your name. I saw your name in the applications or something like that. And yeah, I guess we work together. And I'm like, that's like serendipity. So we started working together again. And eventually he moved in with me. And when he moved in with me, he told me finally that he had been homeless the whole time that I knew him. And it was a secret. He hadn't told anyone. He was living out of his car in Barnesville Park. And yeah, I mean, like, it's like a true, like, rags to riches story. Like, the guy, like, really was, like, struggling really hard for so long. The nicest guy, most generous guy in the world. Like, before I knew he was homeless, I would see him, like, one night he was just giving hundreds of dollars away to homeless people. And I was like, what? Yeah, literally. And I was just like, why is he so generous and nice? I wish I had as good of a soul as this person. And then I find out, oh, well, he knew what it was like to be homeless, I guess. So maybe that's why he was feeling that type of way. But that's the story of meeting Saxon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting that he was homeless, because his whole vibe is like wearing like a 3-piece suit.
Yeah.
And like that's his rap style, is like he has like a proper English eloquence to him.
Total gentleman. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, like he's like a gentleman rapper.
And I had gotten a peek into like his Ford Explorer he was driving at the time was his car. And there was the 3-piece suits just laid out in the car with like these nice dress shoes and everything. And I was like, this is madness. But man, like I love Saxon so much, and I'm so happy he's doing well. And I mean, what a hustler, right?
Yeah.
I think that you might have given me his CD or something at that restaurant. Is that right?
Yeah.
So that's before stuff had started happening for him?
It was directly before that, because he had given me like stickers and like his EP that I had like a song on with him, or like I produced a beat for. And I think, we were just handing it out to people. And yeah, that was before I even knew his story really. But then I listened to like his music closer, and I was like, oh, how did I not know? He pretty much says it in the song, but like I just wasn't paying close enough attention.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Marietta. It's not Marietta, Georgia, but Murrieta with a U. It's next to Temecula in the Inland Empire.
Oh,
like
yeah,
right
okay.
Before you get to San Diego.
And the cops do anything there?
Oh, they'll do anything for you, bro. Now, yeah, it's a really beautiful, suburban city, and really peaceful place. Nice place to grow up. Biggest Mormon population outside of Utah, I think.
No kidding.
In California, yeah.
Did you
a lot of Mormon friends.
Know people?
Yeah, Chad actually. Churdley's, the Chad we were talking about earlier. He went to the Mormon church there. His family.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah.
We got to get Chad on the show.
Yeah, dude. I'm sure he'd be down.
What about Hudson Mohawk? How'd you hook up with that?
So that was my other intern situation. So that one doesn't have as like, I guess, like much of a legacy or interesting story to it. How like our thing came to be, or Saxons. Hudmo, aka Ross, is such a chill dude that I literally just DM'd him on Instagram and I said, hey, I want to intern for you. Like, being kind of cheeky, right? Just like, who, like, no one's gonna respond to that. And he just goes, oh yeah, like, weird timing. I guess this is kind of interesting, but he was like, weird timing. I just opened up a studio in LA and I need help moving in. And it was like down the street. So that was just really weird coincidence too. And I don't like really reach out like that or put myself out there. I suggest people do it. It is good for you if you're trying to network and stuff and meet people and make interesting things happen. But yeah, Hudson Mohawk, if you guys don't know, listeners, or Brent, is a really cool hip hop producer. Super, super innovative guy, really inventive, and yeah, just really innovative, inspiring creator to me. And he's worked with the likes of, like, you know, Kanye and Chris Brown and some really big names. He's a really cool guy. So I helped him out at his studio, helped him like open that up, put it together and stuff. And yeah, that was fun.
He's also one half of Tonight.
Yeah, Tonight.
TNGHT.
I'm sure people would know Tonight's music if you just went to their Spotify, like it's like Apple commercial, like level stuff. It's
and
like
they also have an amazing video that Cole Kush made. So
yeah,
everyone check that out. That video is amazing.
I did see that.
Let's talk about YouTube.
Let's what's that, Brent?
Let's talk about YouTube.
Well,
yeah,
no,
absolutely.
Before we talk about YouTube, I gotta find out about Joker, because I feel like this maybe was a stepping stone to that.
Sure. Not as much of a stepping stone as you think, but just to give everybody context, about a year ago, last October, in the running up of the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, I took a Twitter account that I had that was actually something I had made in 2014 or 2013, maybe even 2012, I don't know, but it was an old Twitter account where I had a very small following on it, like a few thousand people, where I would post pictures of like two different species of animals hanging out with each other. I called it like animals being homies or something like that, animal homies. So I posted on that in the early days of Twitter. I guess it wasn't that early days, but it was like 2013. And so I got a few thousand on there, and randomly last year I remembered, oh yeah, I have this Twitter account. Like, let me see if I can still log in. I still could log in. And I was like, okay, I have a few thousand followers on here. Let me just like rebrand it as something trendy, just because I was bored, thought nothing of it. Joker was trending really heavily. There was a lot of incel memes going around about the Joker and like super racy shit and like stuff about how like the Joker was going to say the N-word in the new Joker movie, which I thought was hilarious. The idea of like a bunch of incels like wanting this is like super fucking funny to me. And like thinking of it as some kind of like, I don't know. They think like, I guess because that would be edgy or like evil or something, that it would be somehow vindicating. I have no idea, but I really latched onto that like as like just a funny ideology to think about, and it was trending really hard. So what I did is I just made the account called Joker, but spelt like Joaquin's name, right? Like, so JOAQUER, I think it was.
Can you change the name of your handle?
At any time.
Really?
Yeah, you can completely revamp it. Everything follows over. So if you go to like old posts, it'll have whatever you changed it to, I think. So you don't like remove the history of the account necessarily.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
And it doesn't change who follows you. But yeah, so I just rebranded it as that.
Doug, you should rebrand as Brent Weinbach. See what happens.
So I like made it this Joker thing, and based off that meme of like all these incels wanting the Joker to say the N-word in the movie. And so I just posted, I called it Joker, and then I posted a tweet that said, I think it was 11 days till the movie came out, and it said 11 days till I say it. And it was like not saying anything, right? It wasn't super specific. It was subtle enough. And I only had a couple thousand followers from all those years ago who followed for those animal homie pictures. And I was like, all right, whatever, this is dumb. I'm going to get off my phone. And the next day I look, and it's got like 42 retweets and like a few hundred likes. And I was like, that's a lot of engagement for how dusted this account is. That's really crazy. Okay, let me just post 10 days till I say it and see what happens. And then that got like 100 retweets or something, right? And I was like, wow, this is like, there's a lot of steam already, and this account's getting followers now, and like people are replying. And then like 3 or 4 days later, it had gotten up to like 10,000 followers or something. And then like, I think just some really big accounts started to follow it. And I was like, all right, well, this is a sensation now. I have to just title it Joker N-word Countdown, because that's obviously what it is. Let's just see what we can get it to. And I think like Diplo followed it, and like some other like huge names and shit. And I was like, this is fucking out of hand. I have to like do a finale for this that is not expected. And I can't just end it saying the N-word, because people who think just something like that is funny, it's just a, I don't know, very uncreative shit sense of humor, in my opinion. So I was like, okay, what have I gotten myself into? You know, I bit off more than I could chew. This isn't even necessarily it's not even really my brand. Let's see what I can do. So the day before it got up to like 100,000. And then the night of that I had filmed it, or no, sorry, the day before the actual premiere of the movie, it was at like 140,000 followers or something. And they were all super engaged. And there's a lot of pressure of like, holy shit, you know, what am I going to do? So I just built up the hype with like a couple of video posts. I got, man, I don't know, dude, like 300 or 400, maybe like something in the realm of 300 or 400 different, Black people sending me messages, showing me their skin, saying you have the N-word pass. So I technically,
No way.
I might have the most N-word passes in the world. But with great power comes great responsibility. So I just tried to carry it a little further, and then do a finale of like a Joker sketch where it looks like maybe he's about to say it, but then and obviously the Joker character isn't the Joker, it's an incel who fantasizes that the Joker like is gonna like do this crazy stunt, right, and like prove everybody wrong, like, oh, like white incels should be allowed to say the N-word or something. So I do this sketch where I get another creator who's super, super funny. I don't know if you guys have heard of this guy called Too Mad before.
I don't think so.
Dude, he's like, he's this, right. He's like this gamer / YouTuber who does like really funny videos. And he sent me a picture of his titty, like of his breast. And he's got, you know, decent sized tits. So he sent me that, and he said N-word pass. And I don't think I knew who he was at the time, but everybody was like really responding to that. And so I checked him out. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's hilarious. Let me hit him up.
Wait, did he mean as in N-word as in nipple? Because he was showing his boobs?
He might have. I might have misconstrued it. You're right, actually.
What's up, my nipple?
Yeah.
That's the new one, Doug.
Yeah. Yeah, what's up, nipple?
What's up, my nipple?
What's up, nipple? Hey, wait, real quick, Spencer, bbefore you move on, what were the videos that you had posted already on the Twitter account?
Okay, so one of them was one of them was showing a compilation of all the N-word passes I was being given in my DMs.
Well,
and then,
did you portray yourself as a
voiceover? I didn't do a face reveal yet.
Mm-hmm.
So as a voiceover, I was like doing the Joker laugh as like all of them were rolling through. And I might have said a couple things like we're almost there or something like creepy like that. And it's just showing like N-word pass, N-word pass, N-word pass. And then they just get faster and faster and faster until it's like this just, you know, you just realize this never ends. It wasn't just N-word passes, by the way. I was being sent like supposed passes for like
the B
in
word
Asian,
and the F word.
Like pretty much every race or every type of like, I don't know, label was sending me the same joke. So like, you know, like dozens of random like Asian guys would send me like, hey, you have, you know, the whatever pass, you know, whatever slur, right? Or like someone said they were on like the autism spectrum and said you have, you know, the, you know, R word pass kind of thing. And I think I put,
they're not even retarded. They're just,
they're probably lying.
But they're saying
wanted me to say it,
if
right?
you want to.
right, exactly.
They're saying, they're like, hey, I'm not actually retarded. I'm just, I have schizophrenia, But
Yeah.
you can say retarded if you, or that's actually funny if they gave you the N-word pass, but it's
Right.
like, they're not even, so I have autism, but I'm giving you the N-word pass.
It was kind of that energy for a lot of DMs, honestly, where people would say things along those lines.
Did you get
And
passes for to say other bad words such as the SH word or the F word, F you?
I feel like only your guardians are allowed to give you that
Uh-huh.
permission. You know what I
You
mean? And
didn't
it's
get
up
that
to
from your
you.
parents or your guardians?
I still haven't. Yeah, I still haven't been given that pass. They didn't see the Twitter thing, so maybe they would have been in the
Maybe a
right
teacher
mind
can give you that
at the
pass
time.
as well.
Hall pass only, which we'll talk about later in our creation we're talking about. But anyway, moving on. I was given all these passes. Made a compilation of that. I reached out to Too Mad because he sent me his beautiful breast, in his nipple pass, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna do like a video finale for this because I really want to I don't want this to just be some like lame dead in the water just text of the N-word or something like that." And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's a cool idea." Weirdly enough, another like serendipitous thing, I guess, was he was like, "I'm from Canada, but I just happened to be in Northridge like tonight." And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna drive there." So I drove there. I bought like a Batman mask. I had no idea what I was gonna even film. I was just gonna film something on my iPhone. And I get there and like, dude, it's like this, like, you've seen the show Silicon Valley?
Yeah.
Or like, just if you haven't, like, they have like these things in Silicon Valley. I guess they're called like incubators, where it's like all these like software engineers and like programmers live in the same like Airbnb or something.
Right.
One guy pays for it or something, and they all just work, right? So I get there and it's like that situation, and he's just friends with them, and it's these guys working on this app, and they happen to be like really good with video and stuff too, and they're like, "Hey, we'll film it for you. Like, we're really excited about like the Twitter sensation that's going on, and like we'll just help you produce something really cool." And I was like, "What?" So shouts out to those guys. I think the app was called Notify, but anyway, they helped me film it with like a really good camera. Like they gave me like an SSD card for the footage and everything, and they just totally facilitated this whole thing. Too Mad put on the Batman hat, and in the storyline he became the Black Man, which is like the Batman, and so he thwarted my character's efforts in trying to say the N-word, and then he simply said it himself. And this upset a lot of people who, I mean, imagine the people who are actually upset by this. They're not the most savory type of people, so I don't give a shit what they wanted, right? But it angered enough of these folks that there was like pretty much a bounty on me for my account, for my identity. And so these guys got together, and let me know if I'm going on too long, but this is
Wait,
kind of
No, this is good. This is
Did you
good
show your
stuff.
face in this video with Batman?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I should mention there was a video that actually before this, the day before, I did drop another video where I was like, I'm on my way to go see the movie kind of thing, like the midnight showing, and I had like the makeup on, but it was very shadowy, just a shadowy, creepy picture of me or video of me driving in the car. And they're like,
You
"Oh,
had
I know,
Joker
maybe
makeup
this
on.
was," sorry?
You had Joker makeup on?
Yeah. So there were just like little clips like that that were just kind of building up the hype or the tension, right? And then anyway, after we dropped like the finale video, I was really happy with how that turned out, and it was a lot of fun. And Too Mad was like very okay with, he was basically very okay with me saying it. He was like, I think if you want to say it, you should just say it. And I was like, really? I was like, I mean, because so many people have asked me why I didn't. And there's so many reasons why not to. And the only reason to do it would be to just satisfy the worst of the internet. Main reasons why I didn't is because, one, I don't think I could make it funny. I don't know if maybe I'm just not creative or witty enough, but I don't think I could actually say it and it'd be funny. Two, I want to get jobs in the future and not ruin that.
You can't. I'm saying my thing is like, if what's his name? Too what?
Too Mad.
If Too Mad said you could do it, you can maybe say it to him in private, but you're not just saying it to him. He can't give you permission to not offend the entire internet or whatever. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
right.
Like the whole
He can't
culture
say
of black
right.
people, like
He
you
can't speak for
have the
everybody.
power to grant that not be offensive for everybody, or you know what I'm saying? So like, I think you made the right
Yeah.
decision.
You know what? You could done a. Here's a take that what could have been done is okay. You want me to say it? I'll say it, and then you whisper it to Matt
Yeah.
or Black
Or
Man
we
or
go
whatever.
into like a booth and it's like a session where I get to say it to him in private and then we
But
come out.
you say it, and you see you whispering it to him, and you say, "I just said it. How about that?"
Yeah, yeah. And then maybe he like beats up my character or something after that.
Nah, he just goes, "All right, all
All right,
right." He goes, "All right, all right, all
so
right."
Yeah. I mean,
right, he
so
just doesn't
anyway,
care. It's like it didn't offend him. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever. I think what you did was funny. So like you're about to say it, it's building up, and then Black Man comes in like
the black man
just watch the
thwarts
is the
him.
video, is the account still up or did you lose
Yeah,
it?
go to my Twitter account. It's at Cer Spence, CERSPENC. I mean, they'll see how it's spelled right on the podcast. But
So what happened? They
yeah, go
tried
to
to
my
dox.
Twitter.
They doxed you.
Yeah, so lots of people on the side of just say it, just like, I mean, those people, first of all, and the replies are saying like, just say it, you fucking Jew and shit like that. I'm like, oh, I'm glad I didn't satisfy these guys, right? So
How did they know you were
there's no
Jewish?
regrets there. What?
How did they know you were Jewish?
Oh, dude, these are like next level, like 4chan, like guys who will go and do research on you and like find out everything they can, find out like your mom's maiden name type people, right? So
Yeah, but
it was,
real quick,
I mean, it was making fun of like that camp of people, right? Like this character that I do. So
they call people Jewish who aren't Jewish. They just call anybody that as like an insult.
right. Wait, are you serious?
I'm serious. It's happened to some friends of mine
I've never
who are
seen that.
definitely not Jewish.
Okay.
Anyway,
That makes sense, I guess.
I'm just saying,
Anyway,
but they probably did find out your mom's maiden name and everything. I'm just
In
saying.
junior high, actually, that would be something that people called one another.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they weren't Jewish,
Right, like
they would say,
someone's
stop being a Jew or whatever.
right, exactly. Or yeah, that sort of thing. But I guess the only point I was trying to say is like those are the people that were upset. So I feel like no harm done. Whatever. Who gives who cares? So anyway, those guys are all upset. They really want the account to just say it, and like the whole thing is making fun of how bad they want it to be a thing that you can just say, and how bad like they think it's like an injustice that they can't say it or something like that, which is like really interesting to me. And the whole character arc of like, that the black man, like in like the Joker character of mine, is making fun of just how bad they want to say it, right? So they really just brought it like full circle by doing what they did. And what they did was they hacked the Twitter account and they posted like their Discord of like their hacker like squad or whatever. And then they just posted the word. And then like the account got like locked. And then I got a text one day. Actually, let me backtrack a little bit. This was all like, I think the same day or the next day after the video dropped, right? I'm at work, and this can be one of the restaurant stories that's juicy because you asked if anything weird had happened at work, right? So I'm at work. I'm on like a little 10-minute like, smoke break type thing at the bar I work at. And I pull up my phone and it says no service. I'm really confused. Like, what's going on? How come I don't have any service? Doesn't make sense. I pull up my battery, do all that stuff. Luckily, my friends show up to the bar. Serendipitously enough, once again, I live a very serendipitous life, apparently. And I go, hey, I'm on break right now. Can I just use your phone to call, my carrier to see what's going on? And so I call my carrier at the time. And I'll just say, actually, it was T-Mobile. And the reason I want to say it is because they're really, really bad with security. You shouldn't use T-Mobile if you don't want to get hacked. Anyway, I call them and they say, oh, you switched your phone over to a new SIM. And I go, no, I didn't. Good job, guys. So I knew immediately what happened then. I obviously tried to get into my accounts. They were all locked. And I'm like, okay, I got to tell my managers, like, I got to go home. This is a whole thing right now. I got to like figure this out. I got to talk to like a cybersecurity friend and like just get shit back on lock, right? Because they were getting into everything, dude. They got
Like
into like
what?
they got into Amazon, my eBay account I hadn't been on forever, my PayPal, like a middle school email account that I hadn't been on like in like a decade or two. And man, like
How did they find that just from,
Yeah.
yeah, how did they get
so
to that?
the thing that a lot of people don't realize is as you kind of go along the timeline of making accounts on the internet, typically what somebody does is they use like their previously older account as a recovery method, right? So if you go back far enough, you just linked all these accounts. So maybe in 2004, you made an email. And then in 2008, you're like, I should make a Gmail. Oh, recovery email. I'll use the one I've had for the past 6 years. Boom. That's linked to that one now. Okay, 2014, I'm gonna make a business email. 2017, I'm gonna make this email. They're all like chained, chronologically to each other if you kept them as recovery methods. So what they do is they get your SIM card and they find out your carrier, and then what they're able to do is take information they have on you, like a social profile or a docs built on you, as it were. And they convince the carrier, like they'll call T-Mobile, or they'll even go to a T-Mobile store, and they go, hi, I'm this person, I just got a new phone and I need to move the SIM over to this new iPhone. And then the guy at T-Mobile, maybe they know someone there. In my case, they did know somebody there. Or maybe they don't. They can just convince the worker that they're you because they know the maiden name of your mom, or they know, enough information about you to convince them that they're you, right? So the T-Mobile guy's going, oh, okay, you switched your SIM. It's obviously you. You answered all the questions. Okay, here you go. They switched the SIM to this guy's phone, right? Like some other part of the world. And then he goes, okay, Twitter, I forgot my password. What does Twitter do? Oh, we're sending you a text message because I had SMS recovery on. So they do that. They get in the Twitter account. They go to my email. Hey, I forgot my password. We're sending you a SMS to confirm it's you. Reset your password. So they do this for just every account they can. And then whatever isn't linked to my number, they try to chain back with email recovery methods, right? Until they get into everything. And like they look at what they have, and then they just move laterally across all these options that they already have tabs open for, like typical things like PayPal and Amazon. So they know how to move in and invade everything really quick once they get your SIM. So don't use SMS verification, SMS recovery for anything. And don't let anybody know what your carrier is. And those
So
are
how did they first get in? What was the first step? The carrier?
Yeah, it was the SIM. So like I said, they convinced T-Mobile.
Yeah, but I'm saying, how did they know what your carrier was?
I think there's two things that could have happened. I don't remember exactly, but I might have posted a screenshot or like a screen recording of my phone, and it might have said like T-Mobile on top. I probably did something stupid like that. But also they can if they get your phone number from a contact. In my case, they might have gotten it from somebody that I knew, and like through a mutual friend or something, of someone that didn't like me. That's a possibility. It's also a possibility that they got it through Twitter. So if you give your phone number to Twitter, like they might be able to access it if they know what they're doing. And then if they access your phone number, if you have any phone number, you can pretty much find out the carrier for it, right? So that's another way. There's so many ways, and it's like, if anything, it was a massive learning experience for me, and I'm really grateful it happened when I didn't have anything to lose. I mean, I had no money, and the account really meant nothing. And I didn't have any big accounts or anything at the time, and all my money was insured. So I'm really happy I had like this little dry run, this little scrimmage of being hacked at the time when I did, because now I'm like a cybersecurity freak, and like everything's on lock. And watching this, they're like, oh yeah, we'll see, and then they go fuck me up again. But anyway, it did teach me a lot, and it taught me mostly that like no one's account is safe, dude. Like, and like there's so many ways to get into stuff, and also huge corporations, huge companies are so bad at hiring people and training them to not do stupid things. I went into T-Mobile to actually switch it back to my SIM, right? There's these two kids working. They're like 18 and 19 at the T-Mobile store. And I'm like, hey, I need to like get my SIM turned off or switch it or whatever. I got a new number. I don't even remember. But they were like, oh, what happened? Oh, yeah, I got hacked. I had this account. I told them the whole story. And like, oh, wow. Okay, bro, what's the number? They punch in the phone number. They go, here you go. They didn't even ask me my name. They didn't ask for an ID. And I just have this number. So I just walked into a T-Mobile store and just obtained a phone number. I could have done that for anybody.
Wow. So you could have said one of your friends' numbers or a number you know.
I could have said Jack Dorsey's number and taken over Twitter. Like,
Oh my
it's
God.
insane how, like, just fragile and how unsafe, insecure all, like, some of these things are. And funny enough, right after they hacked me, they did hack Jack Dorsey's account, the same people. Diplo's account, funny enough, bringing up Diplo again, and like James Charles and Post Malone, like all like that same week.
The same people?
Sorry?
The same people?
They hacked all those people that like same week.
No, but like there was the same hackers?
Yeah, same team, yeah. I don't want to like shout them out because that's what they like live for, so.
Oh, so they are a known hacking group.
Yes.
Huh.
I mean, if you Google that
Fortran?
string of names, you could find out who the people are, yeah.
Are they for transgenders or what? Are they, I don't know. Are they Fortranners?
I don't quite understand the question, but if you're
Meaning,
talking
are
about
they people who are on 4chan? Are they 4chan?
4chan.
Oh, 4chan.
Yeah. I thought you meant like, are they for transgenderism? And I'm
I don't
like,
know what I was
these
trying to
guys
say.
probably know.
At first I was saying, I just was calling them I was calling them 4chan. I was calling them 4tran. 4tranners, I was going to say. And then I thought, well, maybe they could be called 4transgenders.
But yeah, they're like really bad hackers, but they're very supportive of trans rights. That would be nice. Yeah, I don't know what exactly these guys were into, but I mean, even being in that community is unsafe, even if you're one of those bad actors, because I had people sending me doxes of those guys. They're like, oh, this is the guy. These are the guys who hacked you. This is like their family members' names. I was like, I don't want to see any of this. I'm not trying to enter into a war with anybody. Like, I just want them to forget about me. I'm a small fish anyway. So like, what do I care?
Well, what's the takeaway here? What should people do to not get hacked? Or what's a good carrier that's more secure than T-Mobile?
I would say anything but T-Mobile and anything but, I mean, I've heard bad things about AT&T too, but T-Mobile is the bad one. And I would say probably like those burner ones, like Boost Mobile, Cricket, things like that probably aren't safe.
Well, because real quick, I use Cricket and my phone number is 213-248-7828.
Right.
So
and your mom's maiden name is what?
Is that a safe carrier and number?
Right. So I would say, yeah, what you just did is the main thing to avoid, right? So don't share your phone number on the internet.
Crap. I'll try to.
At all.
I hope I remember to delete that. I'll try to.
Yeah. Right.
Don't
share your number online, and don't give, if you can help it, don't give any, company your phone number that doesn't need it. Don't give it to Twitter. Don't give it to Instagram, because like they can get in, they can find the number that way.
And don't post it on 4tran.
Yeah, don't post it on 4tran. And then also,
how about that? 4tramp.
Don't make it so your phone can be used as a recovery method, right? Like the 2-factor using text is just gonna connect your phone to all your accounts. So if they do get your SIM, then they're gonna get into everything at that point. And like, I mean, probably 98% of people do have that set up. So you probably have it set up. I would take your number off those accounts if possible. I would make it so there's no recovery methods to your accounts at all, not even an old email. And the only way that you can get back into your account, if you forget your password in that situation where you remove willingly all your recovery methods, is to have a hard copy or to have a password manager, or both. So it's up to you. It's your responsibility to not lose the keys, to your car, kind of thing. And that there's risk in that, but there's way more risk if someone can just, get their fingers in all your holes. You don't want those fingers there. So you got to just make hard copies and manage it yourself the same way you would with like cryptocurrency, right? Like with Bitcoin, if you lose like your key for Bitcoin or any other crypto, it's gone forever and no one's going to get in there. If you lose, like my accounts are set up so that if I lose the passwords, that's it, which is in some ways better. And I feel safer that way because at least no one's going to get in, kind of thing. And
I have my passwords all written down on a book.
Yeah.
And then it's buried in a few miles away. So whenever I find my password, I got to go for a hike, dig it up.
But that's also getting you exercising.
I'm like uppercase A, lowercase Q, and then that's how I get exercise and keep safe.
Well, I have all my passwords written down on a little piece of paper, and I folded it up and put it in a balloon. And I put the balloon, I kind of keep it shoved in my rectal cavity,
Yeah.
And I walk around with that all day, and you get used to it.
Yeah.
But if I need to log in to one of my things and I forgot the password, I have to sort of squat over this bucket for about 10, 15 minutes, pushing, but not pushing too hard because it might cause some prolapse or something like that. And then eventually the balloon comes out, undo the balloon, take a look at the password, log in, and I'm laughing.
Yeah.
I used to do that, but I used to leave the little balloon tip dangling.
Yeah, I call that poo factor authentication. It's better than two factor.
Poo factor, yeah. Doug, you have to worry about you got to be a little cautious about that technique though, because these hackers, they can come and if they see the little balloon hanging out, they'll just pull it right out.
Yeah, well, remember what I said? You don't want their fingers in your holes. So
yeah, exactly. They'll get their fingers in all your holes.
You mean these crackers? Crackers coming in your crack.
Yeah.
Right. These crackers. You go on crack.
These butt crackers.
So, yeah, in summation, take your phone number off everything. Don't give anybody your phone number. Have a different password for everything. I have a different password for everything. I have a different email for everything. Because I don't want anything connected in the sense that once they get one, I don't want them to be able to move on to anything else. It's like once they get into one thing, that's it, and then they can,
look. I didn't even know we were. This is interesting stuff, and I didn't even expect to talk about this or hear about this. So this is interesting, but we're getting close to the end of the episode here. We got to talk about YouTube briefly here.
Yeah,
let's
we
take
can go
10 minutes
over too. I don't care.
Let's do 10 minutes on YouTube, and then we'll go after dark because we want to know where you at now and how you jumped to YouTube enough to be a full-time YouTuber, and that's your gig. What's the secret?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I would say it sounds corny, and
oh man,
you guys, but the best.
You froze up for a second.
Really,
you froze up. Say that again.
It sounds corny, and then start from there.
Okay, yeah, it sounds corny, but the most important things are like consistency. Obviously, I know people hear that all the time, but don't slow down. Like, be very consistent. If you have a weekly basis or 3-day basis or monthly, whatever your thing is, stick to that. Don't slow down. Other thing is this is the corny one, is really just your attitude. You have to have a good attitude and you have to be really positive about what you're making, no matter what it is. And that, I know it doesn't sound like a whole lot to people, but you need to take that really seriously. Your attitude about how you go about stuff is important. You need to I call it faking confidence. I just pretended that I was confident, even though I'm not. I'm so critical of my work and I think it all sucks a lot of times. But I just kind of posted anyway. Some of my biggest successes on YouTube are things where I was not going to post it at all. And I was just like, whatever, it's good enough. And then I post it and then it does really well or something. So I don't know, just
fake it till you make it.
Yeah. Motivate yourself. That's all really important, and just keep doing it. And, some of the other, I guess the biggest things for me is, you want to be able to collaborate with people who are, you want to surround yourself with people who are better than you in many ways and know more than you and that you can learn from. That obviously you want to be able to help them too. There's got to be a give and take, right? But it's like they say, you don't want to be the smartest person in the room kind of thing. So find, your camp of friends and try to build a network of people who are really dead set on this stuff and whatever it is, if it's YouTube or whatever you're trying to do, and learn from them and collaborating with them, and them being on your channel and you being on their channel is really good for the algorithm, obviously, and gets you some exposure. So
Can I say this? There's this video that you came out with. I don't know, maybe it's been a few months now at this point, but it's called Red Pilled. And I know obviously we spoke last week about YouTube a lot, but I didn't say this stuff because I wanted to save it for the podcast, which is this video is funny.
Oh, okay? Thank you.
And everyone should check it out. It's really funny. And it's called Red Pilled, and it's on Spencer's channel, which is Cer Spence, I guess, right?
Yeah. You can just search Cer Spence on YouTube, but
just spelled CERSPENCE.
Yeah.
But especially the end of the video, man, I was cracking up. Funny
That's
stuff.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Yeah, so I guess, what Brent's talking about is like, it's pretty much the Joker character in the previous conversation we had about the Joker stunt. And it's just this guy who I guess, is under the label of like being an incel. And so he just has this, he's like, he can't get any girls, right? And it's not really about that he can't get girls. And that's not even really what an incel is. It's really about his attitude towards it and how he chooses to cope with it, right? So like the whole story of that one, it's like him just in his antics, having a really bad attitude about stuff and just being a really negative, like hateful guy. And then at the end of it, this guy that he's kind of trying to red pill, or that he's trying to turn into, being like him, kind of sort of like spells it out for him, like, hey, like, well, maybe you could have a better attitude about things, et cetera, right? In so many words.
You want to spoil this?
Just let him go, Brent. It's his video.
Okay.
Well, I was just going to say that the reason why I think that one has a good punch at the end is because of his response to, like, looking back on all his decisions and like the consideration of like, what is an incel, right? Is it the attitude you have when you have like romantic troubles, or is it, just a label you're stuck with kind of thing? So I encourage everybody to check it out if you want to see what Brent's talking about. But I digress.
What was funny about it, which cracked me up, was the face is your face. That's really funny. Your facial expression during that.
Can you do the face?
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't even spoil the face right now.
Basically, it's like,
give him a taste of the face.
Say that I this particular face I didn't even invent. I kind of co-opted it from my friend from childhood. This guy named Mike. Shouts out to Mike Zarati. Anyway, one time I was following my friend up the stairs, and he like crawled up the stairs like a dog or something, right? And he turns around, and for those who are just listening, I encourage you to check this out on YouTube if you want to see the face. But he turns around, it suddenly stops at the top of the stairs and goes like this. It's kind of hard to see in the phone, but and I don't even know what that face is, but it's very animal in nature and very evil looking.
It's another funny face of yours is in the Louisville Vegan Toppins music video. When you're riding on the scooter, you're making some kind of funny face too.
Probably. I don't remember which one, but
it's in the beginning of the video. It's really funny.
Yeah, each one of my characters sort of has like, I try to give them their own facial expression so they look different. The goal is to like make it look like different actors almost. It's probably bad for my face in the long run because some of them hurt. But
really, which one hurts? I have that too, by the way.
Oh yeah.
There's a face that I do. There's a face that I did on stage as part of a bit, and I kind of stopped doing it. Well, I stopped doing the face.
I know a face of yours that I love.
Which one? This one?
No, it's this one.
Well, if I do that one and I do it too much, it hurts my jaw, actually. I started getting pain in my jaw. So now when I do it, if I do that bit, I kind of change the face a little bit so I'm not pushing my jaw out as much.
Yeah.
But if it was an important show, if I was taping a special, for example, and doing that bit, I would go full throttle with it just for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, faces can hurt.
But Spencer, talk a little bit about the characters. And I mean, we already talked about this before, but like you kind of took what worked and expanded on, like,
Yeah, you want to
certain
lean into
things
what
were
works.
like more popular, so you were like, I got to make more of that, right?
Yeah. So in your beginning stages, I'd say it's critical to just haphazardly just try different things, like no holds barred. Just try all kinds of different things, see what works for you, see what gets a response. Be very, very like versatile. Have a lot of variety to your thing. Unless you already found your jam and you love it and you're convinced with it, then stick with that. But the more things you try, the better. Just throw things at the wall, and then eventually one thing will get more views than everything else. It won't be the biggest thing in the world, but you'll notice one day, like, oh, people are really responding to this. People are sharing this. All my videos have like 100 views. This one has like 2,000. Okay, that's important. You want to find out what it is in that video they liked. Maybe it's just the way you edited it. Maybe it's the particular character. Maybe it's the fact that you did something trendy, but you want to find like that trait that ended up really helping and working for that video. So lean into that one, and then take that thing that works, right? And do that a bunch of different ways. What version of that ends up doing the best, follow that. So you're kind of honing in and just more like specifically carving down on the things that work, all the while you're experimenting, adding new elements. Some things won't work at all. You'll try a new element that's really hard. You're really interested in it. Maybe you're excited about it, and then it blows. Maybe you could try it again and it'll work a different way, but like it's, I think, all about experimenting and leaning into what works. And what worked for my stuff a lot was like playing like basically like incel type characters. And like a lot of my characters, to tell you the truth, like just come from like people say I have like a suspicious amount of knowledge about certain things with certain characters that are like douchey or cringy or whatever. And a lot of it just comes from myself, right? Like those elements of myself that I know to be cringe or like lame or something, or just funny or interesting or whatever. Take advantage of those elements you have already innately, because whatever you already have about yourself is going to be innately interesting to everybody.
So
because you're more unique than you think.
Are you a little bit incel yourself?
I would say I have like incel experiences in life, right? Like any young guy, right? Where you're trying to make things happen romantically, and like it's not going to go great all the time, right? So you have that to pull from, maybe, or I have definitely have had that to pull from. Absolutely.
Brent, this is some After Dark stuff, so let's hold that off for After Dark a little bit. All right, Spencer, let's wrap up the main section of the show. How can people list off your social media real quick, just so we
all they need to know is the spelling, because it's pretty much the same thing for everything. It's just CER is how you spell the word Cer, and then Spence is like Spencer, SPENCE, Cer Spence. Find that on YouTube. You can find that on Instagram, at Cer Spence, whatever other stuff. It's all the same pretty much. And
check
that was
out
awesome, guys.
Check out the 3-year-olds on all your music platforms, of course. Get those plays cranking. We can get maybe 13 cents, maybe
and then
month.
number 3-year-olds on Spotify and Apple Music and everywhere else.
That's right.
And you can get on Brent Weinbach Comedy on Instagram, Brent Weinbach on Twitter. You can stay posted about stuff, and there's Facebook as well.
Check out patreon.com/Poundcast to listen to more of this conversation and more of all of our conversations, because when you are a Patreon subscriber, that's one of the benefits. You get to listen to extended Poundcast episodes.
And also other
I want to mention one more thing.
Yeah.
I have a podcast too.
Of course.
Check out Sad Lil Sweethearts on wherever you listen to podcasts. I think it's distributed everywhere, but it's called Sad Lil Sweethearts with my good buddy Ryan the Leader, aka Ryan Leader. Look into that.
Does he play the other guy in the Red Pilled video?
Yeah, actually, that is Ryan in that. Yeah. And I owe a lot to Ryan and Chad and everyone else that I collab with on YouTube. They're all amazing. They've helped me tremendously.
And
a couple more things.
thank you.
I have a Patreon, patreon.com/DougPound. And there's some bonus little treats on there if you want to support me personally.
Hey, and you know what else? If you like, video game music, I do a video game music podcast called the Legacy Music Hour. You can check that out.
There you go.
How about that?
And one final thing. Thank you to our sponsor, Louisville Vegan Foods, of course, that Spencer helped me make the wonderful Toppins video for.
Shouts out.
They have a mailing list for their small batch beef jerky flavors that you should sign up for because there's no purchase necessary. And when you sign up for that, you could win a Nintendo Switch if you get lucky. And I'm actually working on a little promo video for that, which I shot yesterday. So that's going to be something to check out.
I'll just say just a little more word about Louisville is I'm not vegan, but it's really, really good. And I'm one of those people who I hog a lot of the vegan food, and maybe not all vegans love that at the dinner table, but I'll eat a little bit of it. And maybe I take a little from them because it's so good. And the vegan jerky is one of those items.
And of course, they sponsor the show. So if you go to LouisvilleVeganFoods.com, load up that shopping cart, all kinds of Christmas stocking stuffers, turkey stuffers, all kinds of stuff there. Get 20% off, 20% off by using the code word Poundcast. And we would like to give our sincerest thank you to Louisville Vegan Foods for sponsoring us for so long.
And one last thing. Thank you to the interns.
Absolutely.
Our interns.
First of all, Spencer.
Chloe Bonilla. And Jack Birch. El Bircho is his social media. Okay. And Jackie Montana and Nathan Pittman. Thank you to you all, and to all a good night. My name is Brent Weinbach.
My name is Doug Pound.
My name is Cer Spence.
This has been the Poundcast, and we'll see you next week, unless we're seeing you after dark, which we'll see in just a little bit.
If you guys want to increase your size and your endurance, come listen to After Dark.
Yes.
Peace.